Tensions are rising sharply over Taiwan as Japan pushes ahead with plans to place missiles on a remote island, and China is acting furious. According to the Beijing's state news agency, Chinese leader Xi Jinping and US President Donald Trump held a phone call. The media agency reported that the two leaders discussed bilateral cooperation and the issue of Taiwan. During the call, President Xi told Trump that the two countries should maintain momentum in ties after the two leaders met last month in South Korea. Xi also stressed that Taiwan's return to China is an important part of the post-war international order. The Japanese defense minister visited Yonaguni, which is the closest Japanese base to Taiwan, and said the deployment is on track. This move marks another step in Japan's effort to strengthen defenses amid worries about Beijing's growing military activity near the island.
The medium-range surface-to-air guided missile unit planned for deployment at Camp Yonaguni is a force dedicated to protect the island's security. We believe its deployment will reduce the very possibility of armed attacks against our nation and do not consider the argument that it will heighten regional tensions to be accurate.
Chinese Foreign Ministry has criticized the reported deployment plan, accusing Japan of stirring up tensions and provoking military confrontation in the region.
Japan's deployment of offensive weapons on the southwestern islands adjacent to Taiwan is a deliberate attempt to create regional tension and provoke military confrontation. Coupled with Prime Minister Takaichi's erroneous remarks on Taiwan, this trend is extremely dangerous and warrants high vigilance from neighboring countries and the international community.
Yonaguni Island is approximately 2,100 to 2,120 kilometers southwest of Tokyo. The island is Japan's westernmost inhabited area, located much closer to Taiwan than to Tokyo. When measured from Okinawa's main island to Yonaguni, the distance is about 509 kilometers to the southwest. The island lies about 107 to 111 kilometers east of Taiwan. This makes it the closest Japanese territory to the island. This location places Yonaguni in a strategic spot. Now, according to reports, recently U.S. forces conducted exercises delivering supplies from Okinawa to Yonaguni in preparation for potential regional crises. Before arriving on Yonaguni, Defense Minister Koizumi toured bases on Ishigaki and Miyako Islands. Ishigaki hosts anti-ship missile units that strengthen Japan's sea defense. Nearby, Miyako acts as a center for air surveillance and holds key facilities like ammunition storage. Both these islands sit close to larger Japanese and U.S. military bases on Okinawa Island, which lies farther east. Tokyo's anxiety over a possible conflict involving Taiwan sharpened after remarks from Japanese Prime Minister Takaichi. Earlier this month, Takaichi said that Japan might join allies in military action if China attacked Taiwan. Beijing reacted harshly with both anger and economic sanctions. At home, Takaichi's comments on Taiwan have triggered strong pushback. Thousands of people gathered outside the Prime Minister's office last week to demand she retracts her remarks. Opposition leaders joined them, warning that these words elevate risks in the region.
The survival-threatening situation mentioned in Takaichi's statement and her so-called war preparation cabinet are both major concerns. We sincerely hope that there will be no expansion of the military or arms exports.
And the war of words is also impacting Japan's economy as well. Markets are already under pressure from government spending plans and tech stock declines. Now, tensions with China add to the uncertainty weighing on investors. Our correspondent Susan Teherani has sent us this report with more details regarding Xi Jinping and Trump's phone call.
It does appear that China is sending two very clear signals, one to Washington and another one to Tokyo and perhaps other countries. Beijing says that during a phone call between President Xi and President Trump, Xi reiterated Taiwan's return to China as part of a post-war international order and urged the United States to tread carefully when it comes to Taiwan, even as it described the broader relationship between the two sides as being stable. At the same time, China is reacting forcefully to Japan's Prime Minister, who suggested that Japan could respond to China if China decides to use force against Taiwan. Beijing called the remarks as being a red line, even suspended some Japanese seafood imports and imposed new travel restrictions. Now, analysts say that China's strong pushback is probably meant to shut down any foreign government support for Taiwan's defense. And for Japan, it now faces a dilemma. If it stands firm, it will risk further retaliation from China. But if it softens its stance, it could face domestic pushback at home.